In media, we'll have head coach Bruce Cassidy up in just a couple of minutes. If you want to get in the queue to ask him a question, please hit the raise hand button. Following that, we'll have David Pasternak, Patrice Bergeron, and Charlie McAvoy. If you no longer have a question, please remember to put your hand back down. Thanks. With head coach Bruce Cassidy, we'll start with Matt Porter.
Bruce, I want to know your view of one moment in particular, and that's when David scores for the hat trick. What are you thinking? What are you seeing? What are you experiencing in that moment?
I was trying to enjoy the moment, looking around the crowd. It's been a long time since we had a full house here at the Garden. They were behind us from warm up on. Obviously, we want to play well for the group and for each other, but also for the fans that have continued to support us and came out tonight especially. So I think it was just a good moment to look around and see a lot of joy. Obviously, Pasta's a goal scorer. He's found his touch. So the other part of it is once that sinks in, it's okay. Now we've got a 2-goal lead. There's 4 minutes to go. How's this going to play out? When are they going to pull their goalie? You start strategizing how you're going to construct your lines for the next, 5 or 6 shifts. You got a timeout coming. But I'll tell you what, it was just a nice moment to look around, enjoy it. Playoff hockey, that's what it's all about. The home crowd. I'm sure we'll experience it up there when New York does something well. But it was our turn to sort of take it in, and that's what I did.
Jimmy Murphy.
Hey, Coach. Just talk about David's ability to sort of seize that moment and really kind of harness the momentum, the excitement around there, and obviously deliver with the hat trick.
Well, obviously he's feeling it. He started, broke through in Washington late, had plenty of opportunities. So that was the good news. It's only a matter of time. That line's really humming. Power plays found its groove with a few different looks, but yeah, right now he's going. Goal scorers get hot sometimes. He had a spell there where it didn't work out for him, particularly on the power play. Now he's finding some ice and his shots going in. Good for him. That's what we need as a team, for our goal scorers to score and create havoc for the other team and put them on their heels. And obviously he was able to do that tonight. And exclamation point on the hat trick. It's late in the game and it's a nice individual effort through the neutral zone. Guys worked hard to get the puck out of the zone, but good for David. He's got the ability to do that. We've seen it before in a Toronto series where he's gotten hot. Good start for him.
Tara Sullivan.
Hey, Bruce, I just wanted to switch it over to Charlie McAvoy. When you see him take that shot, first of all, we haven't seen it as much this series. Just once again, he seems so consistent. Maybe just some comments on what he did and the importance of that goal in particular.
Well, it's a big goal. We just came out of a kill. We had another too many men on the ice penalty. We had to get that killed. We've had some issues there communicating on the bench. We'd lost a guy, so had to mix a guy in. So that, that was important to put that behind us, build on the kill. And we're able to do it, basically in the same shift. So that's always a positive. They got one from distance earlier. So, we had shot the puck well tonight, mixed up, D moving it down to the forwards, getting it through, et cetera. Good net presence, things we've talked about against Sorokin. But I think it's also important for Charlie. He's a Long Island boy, so get the winner against his old team probably feels special to him. Rub it into a few of his buddies back home, and at the end of the day, huge goal for us. Not surprised. Charlie's coming around offensively, making plays. The point totals are going up. He's playing more. He's more confident with his shot versus distributing sort of ratio now, shooting the puck a little more. It's good to see, and that one happened to have eyes. So good timing for us.
Joe Haggerty.
Hey, Butchie, any kind of update on Craig Smith?
Lower body, obviously had to leave, did not come back. Reassess in the morning. Obviously, when you don't come back, that's the first red flag. But again, it's early now, so we'll see how he does in the morning. We'll have a better update then, Hags.
Kevin Dupont.
Couple of things, Butch. First, I imagine you had to go into this feeling some concern about possibility of rust, but after the first 6 or 8 minutes, I didn't see much of that.
Kevin, it wasn't that long, honestly. So I think our guys respond well. They're a veteran enough group to understand what's at stake. We figured there'd be a little bit of the battles, the jostling, getting bumped on a below the goal lines, and both offensively and defensively, that might take a little getting used to again. But I think we were sharp and alert in terms of getting back on the puck and knowing that they're a heavy forecheck team. So we've played them 8 times this year. We kind of know what their game looks like. And then it's just a matter of getting yourself mentally into it. And I would guess, Kevin, it would have been more difficult without fans. The fans certainly got our attention, woke us up. All of a sudden now you're back to what playoff hockey typically is. So that probably helped shake some rust right there. The fact that, there's a lot of noise in the building right away, and that gets your juices flowing.
And my second point was going to be about their forecheck, that it is good that they get in there quickly and they can deliver some pops on it, but it was not effective tonight against you. Why?
We did a better job moving it quickly. The rims around the boards, we started winning our share of battles as the game went on for wingers, so that backs them off. Even if you just punt it out to the neutral zone, they got to reset and start over. Listen, we've seen them enough this year to know early on it was a problem for us. So maybe we were less stubborn at times too, of keep moving it. One bump and then let's go. We built in some misdirection or reverses in certain situations that we'll continue to work on. Still had a few turnovers down there. And that's going to happen against this team. They put a lot of pucks behind you. Obviously, it helps if Tuukka's making good reads with our D and we're communicating quickly. So there's a lot of things that go into it. And some of just getting back there in a hurry. And usually it's support. If 4 guys are supporting the puck well, you're going to have success breaking pucks out if you execute a good first pass. So that was the last part of it. I think, like I said, there was a couple of bobbles, couple of hiccups. I know early on we had a miscommunication in the corner, I think with Charlie and the center, and it was on the wrong side of him. All of a sudden it's dangerous. But after that, mostly good things. Cliffy had a one in front of a net that surprised him a bit with their forecheck on a face-off. But other than that, I thought we settled down and then got it going.
Joe McDonald.
Butch, I know you're in the room pregame, but you mentioned the crowd and how electric it was. Well, AJ Quetta was the fan banner captain tonight pregame. Just how has the team kind of rallied around him, and how does that maybe help you guys a little bit?
Well, it started obviously in the unfortunate injury. I think guys are all aware of it. We tried to do what we could to help spirits, help the family, help the community. So our guys pay attention. I think we're very good at that. And obviously that helps. I think, 18,000 people or whatever it was helps everyone get going. The magnitude of where we are, the second round, you put that on top of AJ, seeing him doing better. All those things go into it. And every little bit of support for us as well. Once the puck drop matters. And I thought it all tied in tonight.
Last one, Brian Compton.
Bruce, Barzell was obviously out there when Pellick tied it, but did you like the way your guys defended against him tonight? Thanks.
I did. We try to take the puck out of his hands through the neutral zone early. That's when he's most dangerous. Obviously in the O zone, he likes to walk up. So your coverage has to be good on your sort of on the strong side of the puck and the weak side, because he'll find the open guy. So you want to turn him down on his backhand as much as possible. I thought we kept him in check. I know the Pellick goal, we had guys back. The puck had eyes. I thought we did a good job. It was probably our screen more than anything that affected Tuukka. So at the end of the day, you're going to give up some of those when you protect the house and recover a little lower. But all in all, I thought we did a good job with them. Again, once you watch the video, you pick up things that you see. But, and then the Nelson line, I think they've been very dangerous for that team. I thought we did a good job with them too, for the most part in the slot. So a lot of good things with our assignments tonight on the defensive side of things. I thought it was a real crisp games in terms of coverage. Obviously, like I said, puck management usually plays into chances for the other team. And that's the other thing. We didn't turn a lot over and get him going the other way. I think previous games up there, he got some odd man rushes because we didn't manage the puck. We were able to limit that against him too tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Next up to the podium, we'll have Charlie McAvoy. If you'd like to get in the queue to ask Charlie a question, please hit the raise hand button. Start with Dan Roach.
Charlie, you look fine. Just a thought on that one, from start to finish, to be able to get the eventual game-winning goal, but Pasta and maybe the fans on what a spectacular night it was for you guys at the Garden.
Yeah, I thought trying to play simple early. I think our message was kind of like, hey, we've been off a little bit. So try and get into it. Couple shifts, get going, get into the game, and couple plays, couple bounces, stuff of that nature in the first. But overall, I thought we had a shot advantage at the end of the period. I think we were able to kind of come in, take a deep breath, and realize, that it was a lot better than we thought, and then start trying to carry the game, trying to dictate the play, and I thought we just built it as we went, and ultimately we were able to get the result.
Steve Conroy.
Charlie touched on it a little bit there, but they have a tough check, and you guys seem to get better as the game went on. What kind of adjustments did you make?
Communication, using each other, just kind of trusting your teammates to be in the right spots, and then when it was your turn to get a puck out, just making sure that you bear down. And that was it. I thought our forwards played great tonight. I thought they attacked. tons of pace, and our skill was on display. They really played awesome, and lots of great chances and looks. And I think when we're moving like that, when we're attacking and using each other, I think oftentimes we're able to carry the momentum of the game.
Tara Sullivan.
Charlie, can you just give us a little bird's eye view of the goal, what you saw, how it went, any little extra piece of emotion? You obviously grew up on Long Island. This is the Islanders, just talk about a little bit about that goal.
So I saw the puck get rimmed. I was coming off the bench, and Kretsch got it. And, knowing the player that Kretsch is, I know he knows where everybody is on the ice. So wanted to make myself available and, in a shooting position. And I knew that I had a guy coming on me, so I had to shoot it off his, off to the side of his body. And after watching the goal, I think you can attribute all of it to Nick Ritchie in front. So many times this year, he is standing at front and he's taking away everyone's eyes and just being, a pain. And it's so selfless, but he's a big part of, the offense when he's doing that.
Chris Ryan.
Hey, Charlie. Obviously, this night was all about hockey, but in a lot of ways it felt bigger than hockey with the fans returning tonight. What was your sense on what tonight meant overall, and also the way that you guys stepped up and met the moment? What does it say about the team?
It was really special. It's been a while. I was kind of joking around this morning that it's been so long. Tonight was going to feel kind of like the first time again. And it was awesome. Never seen that many fans, there early for warmups. So you could tell that they were excited. They were into it. They were loud. They were passionate. They were everything that makes Bruins fans so special. So really happy to get the win for them on their first game back. And we're going to need them the rest of the way here. So, they did their job tonight.
Brian Compton. Go ahead and unmute, Brian.
Charlie, sorry. Was your goal just a perfect example of how quickly things can turn in the playoffs? They tie the game, they're making a push. You guys get called for too many men, and then bang, you guys kill the penalty and you score about 20 seconds later. Thanks.
I think, yeah. I've seen it in our favor. I've seen it go against us. That anything can happen in the playoffs, and momentum swings or there's like that. Anything can happen, and the smallest little thing can lead to, huge shifts in the game. And we had that penalty, and I think the overall mindset on our bench and voice was let's kill this thing off and go back to work. I thought we were playing well before that happened, and we're able to do that. And then sure enough, you take a sort of a nothing play, just a point shot, and it turns into a goal. And then Pasta is able to get us an insurance goal there with his skill and that line, and we're able to get the job done.
Last one, Matt Porter.
Hey, Charlie, just back to Pasta's goal. Obviously a huge goal in the game, putting you guys up. What's your recollection of that moment? Can you kind of tell me what you were seeing and feeling at that moment?
Yeah, we were at the end of a long shift, so I was going back to the bench, and I was pretty tired. So I got onto the bench and just sat down, and then immediately had to stand back up, and I was just giving out some tired hugs. Hearing that he scored, the building erupted, the hats going on the ice, and everything like that. And then after watching the goal, I think it was Halsey who drove the net on that play. And I don't know if he gets a point or not, but he backs off those defensemen and gets a screen, and just those plays tonight. I think you could look at all our goals and guys just making selfless plays, and that's what it takes to win. And such a credit to them and how the guys on this team play. But yeah, then the music after, and the hats and everything, and hearing the crowd just go wild it's in a nutshell, it's a small piece, but it's something about what's so special about being a Boston Bruin and kind of embodied in that moment.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks, guys.
Next up to the podium will Patrice Bergeron. Followed by David Pastrnak. We can start with Tim Rosenthal.
Hey, Patrice, I know there was so much expectations with the first night having a nearly full crowd on the hands. Did it meet those expectations or perhaps did it surpass those expectations for you?
Certainly meet them. And yeah, probably surpass them. I think the energy, the atmosphere was everything that you expected and more. I think it's to say that we've missed them is an understatement. I think I think you appreciate it even more when the fans kind of they're taken away from the game a little bit for quite some time, and you have to play without them. And it was still competitive, but it's still not the same. It's not the same energy and the same atmosphere as I mentioned. So special night. It was good to have them and good to have the win.
Matt Vautour.
Patrice, does it take a certain kind of poise to experience that energy at the beginning of a game and then come out and still play your game? That doesn't always happen for teams.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it that it was going to be that we had to appreciate it. We had to soak it in, but also to play the game and not to worry about it too much. Kind of put yourself in a bubble, if you will, and trust your instincts and play hockey. The rest will take care of itself, and the energy will be there from the crowd.
Jimmy Murphy.
Hey, Patrice, I'm guessing, obviously one of your favorite memories is that Game 7 against Toronto way back and that crowd then. If you can sort of compare the feeling you got from then where it's sort of like just a hockey moment, but like someone said earlier, this meant so much more. Could you feel that it really meant more?
Yeah. It seemed like it meant a lot to all of us. It seemed like for the fans, it was also it was special. It was a year of lots of ups and downs, more downs than not, and craziness and heartache. So I thought you could tell that everyone was trying to enjoy themselves and have a good night.
Chris Ryan.
Hey, Patrice, on Pasta meeting the moment tonight, it felt like tonight in some ways he kind of became a Boston sports legend, if he wasn't already, with the hat trick tonight, given what tonight meant to so many people. What was your take on him meeting the moment tonight and what he has meant overall to this group?
Yeah, it seems like he rises to the occasion every time he's asked to. I think he's he's one of those guys that loves that. He brings that energy, but also he loves to have that and get the crowd going. So seems kind of fitting for him to have one of those nights with the fans back in the building.
We'll take our last one in French from Alexander Bisnat.
Salut Patrice, j'aimerais peut-être entendre quelques mots sur David Pastrnak. 3 buts ce soir, qu'est-ce qui amène à votre équipe puis à votre trio en série comme ça?
Évidemment, c'est ses habiletés offensives. Par contre, je pense en série, on se doit de travailler, on se doit de faire les petits détails importants pour gagner des matchs. Puis, il est prêt à le faire. Donc, tout est en son honneur. Évidemment, encore un gros match. On dirait qu'il se lève toujours dans les moments importants. Ce soir, c'était la première fois avec un amphithéâtre pratiquement plein. Et il semble qu'il a utilisé cette énergie-là de la bonne façon. Puis ça lui a donné des jambes de plus ou de l'énergie de plus pour avoir un match comme il y a eu.
Thank you, Patrice.
Thank you.
Last up tonight, we'll have David Pastrnak. Start with Dan Roach.
Hey, Pasta, how much fun was that? And did the hat maybe give you some inspiration that led you to the hat trick tonight?
No, that was obviously a lot of fun. You know, outstanding to have the fans back, and you know, as soon as you could feel the energy already this morning, we were all excited. Felt like on the warm up, it felt like 22 players playing their first NHL game. You know, everybody looking around and so many people. It's definitely a different game with the fans, and obviously a lot of fun today.
Chris Ryan.
Hey, Pasta, did it feel like tonight was, you know, bigger than hockey? And what did it mean to you to meet the moment tonight and deliver something that obviously the fans are going to remember for a long time?
100%. You know, how I said, it's a different sport with them in the building. Definitely kind of warms your heart and kind of remind you why you play this sport. You know, it was awesome to have them back, and how I said, just coming on the warm-ups, it was so much fun, and you know, they've been our 7th player whole night, so really good job by them, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Ian McIntyre.
Hi, David. Hi, David. Could you explain your fashion choice tonight? And when you wear a suit that's bold, is that indicative of the confidence you feel going into a game?
It's more like motivation, right? And you need to play good. Now I always I like fashion, you know. Thing I'm gonna say is the boring one today that I decide compare what I was going to wear, and then at the end I kind of back up of it and decide to go with this one. So still have couple crazy one in the closet, and you know, hopefully I'm gonna be bold enough to wear them, which you know, I love fashion, and as long as I feel good, I don't really care what other people think.
Jimmy Murphy.
Hey, David. I'm just wondering, you know, when you're sitting there on the bench or by the bench when the hats are pouring down, we haven't been able to see that really with fans throwing hats. There's been hat tricks, but no hats really. What was that like? I mean, how good did that feel?
It felt amazing. How I said it's not just that. Obviously, it was nice to see hats anytime anybody score hat trick. You know, it's been tradition, so it's always fun, especially if it's your team that scored a hat trick. But overall, you know, it's how you can't even explain how much we enjoyed it, especially with the win. They've been outstanding. They've been really loud, and hopefully they keep going to be loud, and we're gonna get more wins for them.
Alexander Gamble.
Hey, David. I looked through some statistics, and this was only the 25th playoff hat trick in Boston Bruins history, and you're only the 5th player to score 2 playoff hat tricks for the Bruins. The others were David Krejci and 3 Hall of Famers, Cam Neely, Phil Esposito, and Johnny Busick. Did you know any of this, and how does it feel like? What does it mean to be in such an exclusive little group?
I'm hearing that for the first time, but thank you for filling me in. Obviously feels even better now when you say that. Playing for an organization like Boston Bruins, you know, with a long amount of history and great players and Hall of Famers, then obviously huge honor for me, and you know, hopefully I can add some more.
Last one's Zdeněk.
Every time Zdeněk, last one.
Jsem jediný tady. Čau, Davide, prostě super večer dneska. Jaký to byl pocit, když si dal dneska ten 3. gól a nále začaly lítat klobouky a téměř plný stadion křičel?
Nádherný, Zdendo, dneska to bylo fakt super, přece jenom, jak jsem říkal tady anglicky, jak jsem přišel na rozcvičku na let, tak to vypadalo, jako by 22 hráčů hrálo první NHL zápas. Přece jenom diváci nebyli na stadioně přes rok, nebo takhle rok, a samozřejmě nám chyběli. Okamžitě si uvědomíš, že ten sport je úplně jiný s těma lidma na stadionech, takže fakt jsem si to užil, vyhráli jsme o to lepší, ale určitě highlight večera jsou ti lidi a bylo to super.
Tak si daří, díky.
Děkuji, Zendo.
Thank you, Pasta. Thank you, media.